everybody. I hope you are well. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. A warm welcome to Family Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so glad that you're here with us today and you have chosen Family Thursday. You can let us know where you're watching us from in the comments. You can reach us on our WhatsApp number, that is 0799200100, or also let us know which platform are you watching us from. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube. Even if you're watching us on your screens, where are you watching us from? Let us hear from you. We'll be glad to hear from you. Just drop a text on Facebook and on YouTube. I hope you're still building strong and healthy relationships in your families. As we always say, when our families are doing well, the church will do well and the nation definitely will do well. And that is why here on Family Thursday we always have those conversations that can help our families, that can help build our families. Let's talk of parenting and all that. And so today is another day to have insightful discussion, and today's topic is very real and raw because we're talking about social media, how social media reshapes our families. We all have gadgets. Acha niseme, most of us in our homes we have gadgets, and let's talk about how it is taking our times. When was the last time you and your family had that moment together, fun free time together and having conversation, real conversations, eye to eye, without phones? When was the last time? Maybe you can let us know in the comments. What do you think? Is social media bringing your family closer or is it bringing it apart? You can let us know in the comments. That is on our WhatsApp number, on the number on your screen, or on all our platforms. That is at Mizpah TV Kenya. And so to make our today's conversation even more incredible, I'm having a phenomenal woman in the house, a powerhouse who has a lot of hats. She wears a lot of hats and she's incredible. Her name is Coach Blessed Abby. She's the founder of Holistic Wellness Hub. That is Abby's Holistic Wellness Hub. She's a mindset and holistic wellness coach. She's also passionate about marriage. She's a married woman. She's also a mother. And we want to know, has social media helped her family or has it is it bringing it apart? Amepewa watoto wake simu na imewaffected, you know. Just sit down and enjoy our conversation today. And if you have any question or any thought, you can also let us know in the comments. So without further ado, let us welcome Coach Abby.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's been long.
Yes.
Unaendelea to hack the minds and
yes.
Yeah, you can say hello to the viewers.
Hello viewers. Good morning. My name is Coach Blessed Abby. As Grace has said, I am a wellness and mindset coach. The founder of Abby's Holistic Wellness Hub, and I'm glad to be here to have this conversation.
Yes.
And you know, Grace, this month
is
our mental health awareness month.
Yeah.
And so this topic is powerful because then it affects mental health. Yeah, so when you told me about this, I was thrilled because I knew she's in line with what is happening.
We are always aligned. Anytime I'm calling you for a topic, I'm always either uko karibu kuongelea hiyo kitu ama umetoka kuongea about it somewhere. Oh, that's incredible. It's the Lord.
Yes. Thank God.
Yes. So we are talking about how social media is reshaping families. Of course, we will get to the mental health part, but maybe I'll be so much personal and ask, has it ever gotten to a point where in your family, now you're a married woman, you have kids, unafika place una feel like simu zinafanya tukose communicate, ama simu zinafanya to feel ni kama there's something going on in our marriage?
It was a source of fight, especially when we were younger in marriage. Yes. Because Grace, here I am, we have both gone to work, my husband and I. And so we come back. By then, I remember I had my first 2 children. And so we come back and I'm tired and he's also tired. Yes. So I start preparing my children for sleep. Maybe there is homework to be done. Yes. And I see my husband on phone and I am mad. Yes. But poor communication, I am not talking about it. Yeah. So I'm just grumbling inside. Yes. And then come to my children, when they grew older, we reached a point we felt they need a phone. We need communication. Yeah. Now you tell them good night and you go to sleep. When you come back, somebody is under the blanket with the phone. Yeah. And you're just thinking, this is crazy. Yeah. Then we bought them a tablet during, you know, COVID time. There were online lessons. So I'm at work. So I don't have any other option. They have to have the phone. Yes. And so you come back and the whole day was spent on phone. Now we are no longer going to play outside. We are inside the house. Yes. And I didn't like it. And then TV addiction. Yes, the screen. Now that I was the culprit. Grace, I am a delivered person from TV. Okay. Because I used to watch TV. I remember then I was newly married. Yeah. When I got married, I stopped working for some time. Yes. We just decided we needed to bond with my husband. And so for about 9 months, I didn't work. So he was going to work, I was at home. Yeah. Part of it, I was expecting our firstborn. And Grace, I just found myself deep into TV. I would wake up, you know, Afro Cinema? Yeah. I would watch Afro Cinema from, was it 9 a.m.? Yes. And then they say continue shortly. I go for tea. I come back. I watch the midday one. Yes. They say continue shortly. I go back. The afternoon one. Yeah. And then they had the Philippines at 6. And then the soap opera at 8. Oh my goodness. And then the one after news. I did that, and at some point I remember asking myself, what are you doing to yourself? So you see that effect. Yeah. And around that period, I would say my personal development was not happening. I was down. And so this is something that affects us, all of us, and it has affected us. So yeah, it has affected us in my family. Wow, so this topic is very much important, especially at this digital world. Let's call it the digital world, because there are screens, there is social media everywhere. Yes. Wow, then thank you so much for being honest with us and telling us that you are addicted by Afro Cinema. Yes. Oh yeah, I understand. And I remember when I got my first phone after Form 4, and it was not even a smartphone. What do they call it? Katululu. Yes, that one. And then there was this game of a snake, which has to, my friend, I would be on that game for 3 hours trying to win. So like, let's talk about technology. Let's talk about just the phones, not only social media, even games. Yes. Anything, even games. Because I see sometimes when I'm out of the house, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi and I've not bought the data. Yeah. My children will want to be on phone, but they are on games. Yes. Until the phone heats up. So I tell them, no, it's enough. Let's watch nature. Yeah. Can you watch the trees? I remember the other day I told my son, I mean, next time when somebody asks you, what did you see on that road, you will have nothing to say. So can you just enjoy nature? Like the day we are going to Eldoret, through the Damaravine route. Yeah. It has very beautiful sceneries. Especially I liked the snow. Yes. And I was telling them, this is time to enjoy snow. Imagine if somebody asks you, what did you see? And all you did was play games on phone. So it's not just about the social media per se, but gadgets themselves. Yes, the gadgets. Yeah, they can be addictive. And the screens. Yes. Wow, thank you so much for sharing, for being honest. At least I know our viewers at a wow wanna connect, wanna resonate, because I know it is affecting a lot of people. But we're not saying really that social media is bad. I want us to start with the positive side of it, because I know it has also helped families a lot. According to you, when you are asked about the positive side of social media now in families, what can you say? You see, social media is a double-edged sword. Yes. Oh, I love that. It has both sides. One side that cuts positively, the other one that cuts negatively. Yeah. So positivity, we learn a lot from social media. Yes. I've learned a lot of parenting. Parenting tips. Yes. You know, people are doing podcasts on parenting. You go there and you just need to type, how do I deal with this habit in my child? And people will come up who have experienced that, and they will share. It's a learning tool. Our children are now learning a lot through social media. It's a marketing tool. As a coach, for example, a lot of my marketing I have done through social media, and I've got clients right from there. So there's so much. Right now, people are watching us through social media. And so there are so many positive effects. It helps us to connect to the world in a positive way. Because at times, you will get to either TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and you find very rich, you know, content. That the moment you connect with it, you live there, you know, uplifted. You lived educated. You live there informed. So there are so many positive benefits of social media. So we can't just say it is the negative.
Is it bringing families closer? Let's talk of the connection, maybe from the people from when you're kombali na nyim kombali.
Yes, it does, because when somebody, your loved one, is away, then you will use that gadget to connect. For example, my husband has traveled out of the country, and I remember then, like back in 2012, when we didn't have so much connection on, I remember then we used to do Facebook chats, and it was not easy. But right now, you can just do a WhatsApp call. It's cheaper.
Video call.
You remember the calls that were very expensive. I don't know, like 30 shillings per minute to call to US, UK. Now WhatsApp, you only need to have your bundles and you can make a call. So, and then the learning, if you decide to do some positive learning together, like their Bible stories. So sometimes there's a time I remember I wondered, how do I make our family devotions better for my 2 young kids, for them to understand the Bible. So we would like read the story of Noah, and then I would connect.
So they would watch
a cartoon on Noah. So now, from, you know, kids will learn more from the visual, and so they would learn more than just listening to me, because I would see they are bored. So with that, they would start saying, you saw that, you know, the boat, you saw Noah, you saw this. So there are those positives that come and can bond the family when used correctly.
So it means that people should be intentional with social media. It can really help families. The connection, also, you said about parenting, reading parenting styles, and that is amazing, because from newlyweds or mothers who are coming up, they can be able to learn more from social media. And that's interesting if you are able to be more intentional.
Because like my sister-in-law has a YouTube channel, and all she does is, what do you how do you do life with a young baby, right from shopping before the baby is born until later. And so when you go there, I told her, I wish I knew about this when I was parenting, because she's saying, don't do this, do this, avoid this, embrace this, and it's really helpful. So you see, those are positive things. And a lot of answers we can get from social media, even though, again, we shouldn't replace them with the voice of God and the Holy Spirit in our lives, because it can become too much. Now, right now, there's Chat GPT and all that. So people are no longer like thinking for themselves. So but on the positive side, you can ask it anything, and it can give you a very relevant answer.
Wow, interesting. So our viewers, if you are there, maybe there are families that social media for them is really bringing them closer than apart. And maybe our viewers, if you're there and you feel like there are no positivity in social media when it comes to families, we've been told there are a lot of things, a lot of positive things that social media can help your families. Now we want to get to the negative. I know the negative side, I guess it's more.
Because the problem with human beings, we tend to lean more to the negative side of things. Grace, when you have a young child, you struggle teaching the child the ways of God. You know, John 3:16. But you just hear the child say something weird, and you wonder, where did you learn that? So that's a tendency of us human beings. But then when we know, we can then balance.
Wow, now how has social media affected the bond of families today?
As I was coming, I just decided to listen to what are people saying about social media. And so there was this documentary, and they were saying teenagers spend up to 8 hours on phone.
8 hours.
8 hours.
A teenager.
That's a third of your day on phone. And there was this father who was actually interviewing the daughter on his channel. And the daughter said, yes, I spend 8 hours on phone. Okay. And I liked how the dad handled it, because he was not like, what? He tried to handle it very well. And so you can imagine when your child comes home and what they do is hide in their rooms, go on TikTok, go on Instagram. The other day, parent shared with me, the daughter has gotten into negative relationships on Instagram. On Instagram,
with people they don't know.
Yes, and it's such a struggle. Yes. And then that a part of like I see when we are going to the village, when we used to go to the village, it used to be story time. Now I tell my children we are going to the village, and then they say that place is boring. We are bored because we don't have internet all the time. And I'm like, no, there we are not going to have internet. We are going to connect. So enjoy connecting with your cousins, with your uncles, with your grandma. Talk about life, just have story time. So that is missing now. And some families are intentional on gadgets, like no gadgets at dinner time, because you go on around the dinner table, which again teenagers don't want to come to the dinner table. They want to take food and take it to the bedroom, and then stay there alone. So when you call them and say, come, let's pray together, they come with their headphones, put it here. And then once you're done, they return it, go back. And that's not positive, because what time? Now again, those are teenagers. We the parents.
The parents now.
They come home.
Before we get to the parents, time is running short. We need to go for a short break. But thank you so much for sharing that. That is so real and raw, especially in these times. And it's I know there are many homes where such things one is inaonekana. Mtoto anashinda na headphones, hata akiongeleshwa. The parent is just talking, but they don't know that the child is not hearing anything, because I make a loud music, or maybe they are playing a game or something. And it's a source of fight in the family.
Your child and akona earphone. It really irritates.
I've had a lot of parents say about that. But thank you so much, Coach Abby. I love your wisdom and your insights, and how you also love learning more and listening to other documentaries and all that. That's a challenge to all of us. Thank you so much, our viewers, for being part of Family Thursday today. We are talking about how social media reshapes families. And as I'm asking today, according to you, your family, is social media bringing your family closer, or is it making it fall apart the more? You can text us, reach us on our WhatsApp number, that is 0799 200 100. Let us hear from you. Or on YouTube, on Facebook, just drop a text and we'll hear from you. We are going for a short break, but we will be back with more of this conversation. See you shortly. Welcome back to Family Thursday. Thank you so much for always being here with us. Thank you so much for being part of our conversation today. We are talking about how social media is reshaping families. And the question we are asking, according to you, is social media bringing your families closer, or is it bringing it apart? We all know that social media has crept into our homes and shaping how we love, how we connect, how we parent. We want to hear from you. Just drop a text on our WhatsApp number 0799 200 100, or on our social media platforms, that is on YouTube and on Facebook, because we are live on Facebook and YouTube. And today we are having an incredible guest, Coach Abby. Coach Blessed Abby is here with us today. And before I welcome her back, I want to give us some announcement about Mizpah House of Prayer. Mizpah House of Prayer is having a Ladies of Nobility monthly program. The Ladies of Nobility is happening next week, that is on 17th of May 2025. It always happens every third Saturday each month. All women, we are welcoming you. If you are a woman, if you are a lady, if you are a mother, if you have a sister, you have friends who are ladies, just welcome them. Tell them that here at Mizpah House of Prayer, we are having the Ladies of Nobility prayer monthly prayer meeting, and it's free of charge. There will be a lot of guests who will come to minister to us, and it will be an incredible time. And the purpose of this prayer meeting is to mobilize ladies for prayer and intercession for the families, body of Christ, and the nation. And when our women come together to pray, the Lord will definitely hear all of us and restore our families and the nation as well. So let's get back to our conversation with Coach Blessed Abby. Nasikia tuko na mkutano ya wanawake.
Yes.
It is being called the Ladies of Nobility. Yes, you're welcome. You can also welcome other women.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're talking about how social media is reshaping families, and thank you so much for what you've been sharing.
Thank you.
So let's get to now how it is affecting the couples, now the parents in the house. Yes.
I gave you our example.
Yeah.
The way we used to fight.
Yeah.
Because now I'm feeling like ameniachia responsibilities, and so I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
And so you find that instead of people communicating, have you observed, you go to a hotel, and this couple are on a dinner date, and instead of talking, they are on phone. I think we have adopted a culture that we don't know how to talk more. We don't have stories, you know, maneno inaisha. We talk, and then we don't have enough words to sustain a 2-hour story. And I remember when we were dating, my husband and I, we would talk like on phone mpaka saa 9 ya asubuhi. I don't know what we were talking about. But it reached a point where we are seated in the car and we are not talking. And I wondered, what is happening now? Because he would be maybe driving, I would take my phone, and instead of talking, we're on phone. And then somebody said, if you see a man and a woman seated in the car and they are not talking, just know that's a husband and wife. And I thought, no, that shouldn't be me. We should learn to talk. Yes. Be it about the weather, whatever. We have many things we can talk about. Yes. And so people are now drifting from communicating and having conversations, deep conversations, and they are spending time on phone. And then we are delegating our duties of parenting to the phone. Yes. When a child cries, we give them the phone. I remember one child who took too long to speak because this child had been on TV. Yes. Like TV was the nanny. The nanny would be left with the child, and it's because she wants to be on social media, she allows the child to be on phone throughout, which is negative. So it has effects on our relationship as a couple, and then fighting, like you feel I'm posting things that you don't like, then you're mad about it. Privacy loss. Yes, there is no privacy. So you feel like one partner is wants to post certain types of content, the other one is not for it, unless for those who now go, all of them, like we see kina Bahati, they put their lives out together there on social media. But there are those who one party is not very much of with being seen on social media, the other one loves it, and so they start having friction about it, and such things make couples fight over and have unnecessary fights, things that would be avoided. So it is that serious, yani unafika place hadi unapata mtoto anashindwa kuongea for some time because they have been on actually I have heard of cases where children are diagnosed with things like autism and ADHD, and it's not true. It's just because they were overexposed to phones or TV. A child, you don't talk to your child, so the child is somehow parented by cartoons, and so the child learns more from cartoons. and imitates these cartoons. So by the time you realize there's an issue, there's a problem, you need therapy, you need external help.
Yes.
So these are the things that parents need to be aware about. How much TV is your child watching? It has positive effects. I remember, like for me, we were the few privileged to have TV in our homes then, because TVs used to be very few then. And I remember I learned a lot of English from TV. So there is the positive on the children, and then, but now there is the negative again. The cartoons. Kitambo, you would be comfortable leaving your child with any cartoon. Now you can't, because the people have realized that for us to win our children to say gay world and other vices, we start when they are kids. So right now you find it's a cartoon, but 2 lady cartoons are kissing. 2 gay boy cartoons, male, are kissing. They're doing something that is not right. And so, you know, it's, remember we said children learn by visual. So they are picking this. So for you, you think it's innocent. And so nowadays we are told, even the cartoons, be careful. What are your children watching? So it's very tricky. How do you leave your children with these gadgets and be sure they are safe?
Wow. Now that you're talking about children, let's talk about comparison. We see social media. You can get social media at wewe at some point unafikanga unaangalia watu, you're like, okay, so people are living well out here. What is happening to me? Is it affecting couples as well?
It is, yes. Because you go on social media and you have a small car. You see your friend has a big car. You start putting pressure on your partner. You need these you know, big car. You want a certain lifestyle. You want you know, to be like so and so. Yet you are in your own space. You need to embrace growing in your own space. So that kind of comparison, not just among couples, but also among children. The girl that the dad was interviewing, the one I told you about, I was listening on my way here, said that one of the things that the dad asked, when you go on social media, do you feel like the people on social media are better than you? And she said, yeah, sometimes I see them as very beautiful and I begin to wish I was like them. So there's a lot of comparison, and it's causing people to feel like they are not enough, like they are less of a person. And then now when it starts affecting children, you see, indirectly or directly, it begins to affect the couple. So the struggle begins to ensue from all that. Wow, that's so deep, because when you see a family maybe imitating some other family, maybe you're a woman, you've seen, maybe mefika ni kama sasa Sunday ni Mother's Day, when a wife has been gifted a car or some flowers, and then your man comes with nothing in the house, and then you're like, what type of man did I have? Unapata umenyamaza, unasikia uko na stress, hata huongei, hata hajui shida ni gani. Because now you're thinking that one is better than you. But you know, you have to, and that's why communication will always be key in any relationship. Does your spouse know, okay, well, first, do you have the financial ability to buy those cars and all that? At least flowers. I'm sure most of us can afford, even if it's one you know, branch of a rose flower. But then when you're putting these huge demands on your spouse, then it will lead to even other problems, because your spouse will start feeling like, now I'm not enough of a wife or a husband. I'm not doing enough. I am not the best for this person. And so it's very important for us to know that even as I go on social media, yes, I am happy. We need to cultivate in us the ability to be happy for other people's successes, and not to let them depress us. Because if I go on social media and I see somebody, maybe we're in school together, they are doing so well, and I start allowing it to depress me, then it will lead to even mental issues and problems. So we have to be keen about that. But yes, it's affecting couples, and now couples need to beware and talk about it.
Wow, talking about happiness, I'm thinking of how you'll find a partner is happy on the phone. Like on the phone they are laughing or they are posting when they are very happy, but wakifika kwa nyumba na partner wake they are sad.
You know, sometimes we use the phone or social media or gadgets as a way of avoiding. Instead of, for example, we are supposed to have a difficult conversation. And you know, it's these difficult conversations that people avoid that are going to make our marriages work. I saw a lady on TikTok, she talks about marriages. She said they used to avoid them, and they used to play cool, people pleasing. So you try to please your spouse by being cool, and so you avoid these problems. So you come home, like I remember there is a time my husband and I had a quarrel, a real quarrel. And so I would get home, put my earphones and get on phone, partly to irritate him, and partly to avoid him, because I don't want to talk to you. And we realized it's not working, it's not helping us. So avoiding, using it as a way of avoiding our problem instead of addressing them, running away from what I really need to face. As a woman, there are things I need to do to develop myself. If I don't face them, then run to social media because when you're just scrolling, there's the dopamine effect. The dopamine effect that floods you with excitement. Just like, you know, just the way somebody else ran to alcohol, somebody else actually runs to social media. They run to the phone, they run to social media, and they pump themselves up with so much dopamine. They are so excited, but unfortunately, how long does it last? You know, just like you maybe drink so that you drink away your problems. Once you're sober again, your problems
are still there.
So instead of using the phone to avoid conversations, why not just decide, let's talk about this?
Wow, that's a call to our viewers. If you're there and you're using social media as an scapegoat of avoiding some conversation in your family, please just stop that and just take the challenge and go and have that conversation. Don't use social media as a way of escaping. Thank you so much for telling us that. Let's talk about mistrust. When I get to TikTok at some time, I see couples unaona wenye wanafanyanga some acting, and then you find a woman is taking the phone when the husband is asleep, and now they're trying to scroll and see who have you been talking to. Ama some funny comedies nimekuwa nikiona ati anajifanya jicho yake inaona what the husband is doing. They are pretending to be asleep, but now they are trying to zoom to see what the husband is doing. So in my mind I'm like, is it that there is mistrust? When you see your husband is holding a phone, you always think about cheating, about some other things. What do you think about that?
Again, it will go back to communication and how we are nurturing our marriage. Remember, marriage is this one institution that we all want to be successful, but it takes work. And not just work, hard work, which many people don't want to put into this institution called marriage. They want it to run on autopilot. You see, a plane, you can allow a plane to run on autopilot and it will run. Marriage will not. And so now, because people are not having conversation, you find that maybe your spouse, say your husband, left home. And went somewhere and came back late, and you're already beginning to think, ameenda wapi? Now another influence, Grace, when you watch a lot of these things that they put on social media of people cheating, they begin to make you feel kumbe mine can also do this.
Because they wanaikanga caption if you see your partner doing this,
and you know whatever you focus on, Grace, you attract.
Very true.
So the moment you have seen that and you have thought about it the whole day, somehow your spouse tends to do something in that direction. And then you start thinking, no, this one,
maybe they are cheating.
The way he smiled at that girl in church, I think he has gone to see her. Then you start suspecting. Then you have a lot of issues. Unfortunately, again, some mistrust is founded because most people now are not really keeping to the vows that they have made. So once somebody, you know, they say once bitten, twice shy.
Yes.
Some people have been 10 times bitten, 10 times shy. So the phone becomes like you wait for. A friend of mine was telling me, I have had this time that I would just wait for my husband to sleep and take the phone. And then he changes the password. Now that irritates you more.
Oh, yeah.
But I find a lot of peace when I have a conversation like, I was not comfortable with what you did at this particular time. This is what it meant to me. I felt like you are going to do 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Could you please clarify it? And then if you people have a good conversation, culture, then he'll say, no, you know, I was just going to do this and that. And so it will help. But then again, marriages are covered with prayer. Suspicion does not help your marriage. Very true. However much you suspect your spouse, that does not cage them. You know, you're not caging them. But prayer will help you to exercise self-control, help your spouse to exercise self-control. So living in suspicion is such a prison, and it's not a good place to be.
Wow, people should really think about that. Our viewers, I hope you're resonating with this. Kama unaendanga unafinya hapo, unasikia kumeambiwa hapo kwa social media, when you see your spouse doing this, please don't do this. Ukiingia hapo unapata, if he's coming late, then your husband or your wife is coming late. You know, if he's doing this and that, alafu he's doing that and that, you start suspecting him or her. You've been told communicate and make sure that anything that is in social media, you're not really following exactly what. Please regulate. It's all about
just
regulation.
Know that your marriage is not that marriage on social media. Your relationship is not that relationship on social media. You have your own unique relationship. You just need to build it. You need to cultivate yours. Because whatever you see on social media, some is just a fake. Even the best, the most beautiful. Have you ever gone on social media and posted time you are down and time things were bad? People always post things that are very bright. Even the photos that we use, they are not just the phone photos. We take photo shoots. So you have to know that there is a thin line between what is real and what is not real. So don't let what is not real make you lose your peace.
Well, thank you so much for that. You had talked about mental health earlier. You want to understand how now families' mental health is being disturbed by social media. Maybe let's talk about anxiety, stress. You know, kukaa kwa simu sana inachokeshanga hata akili.
So most people will have, you see now, first, mental health is that state, the state of your social, your psychological, and your emotional well-being. And so if you get lost in social media, it could affect you. We talked about comparison. Now, there was one girl, again in the documentary that I was watching, who said she was gifted a phone at the age of 10. And she started watching and started seeing celebrities and models, and she wanted to be like them. So she stopped eating. She started having eating disorder. And she was hospitalized 13 times. And finally the doctor told her, now, because even the insurance company was beginning to decline paying for her treatment, the doctor told her, now you're going to die. Your liver is beginning to give up. Your kidneys, because now you're not eating healthy. There's this condition called, is it anorexia? Where you don't eat until your body rejects food. You know, there is a level of fasting, even the fasting that we do, you get to a level your body thinks that I no longer need food. So she got there. And at that point, when the doctor told her that, that's when she made a turnaround. She started going for therapy, and she now is on the journey of changing her life. So depression, people getting into depression just because you went on social media and you saw people are doing better than you are, and you now feel like I'm less of a person. Anxiety, like you talked about it, it's also part of what social media can cause, because we are exposing our children sometimes to social media too early without managing it. What do they watch? You remember at some time back, there was this child who committed suicide by watching a game, a video game, which would instruct her. No, it was a him. Instruct him, do this, do that, go hang yourself. And it went into him, it really sank into him. He committed suicide. So you see now all those things, cyberbullying, social media bullying, people bully you until it gets into you. And you see people even committing suicide. So we've seen that happening even among the celebrities. So it's such a concern.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, because our time is really gone, and you're a wellness and holistic coach, maybe you can just give some few remarks to the viewers about maybe social media being connected to now being well in our nature as humans.
As we said in the beginning, social media is a double-edged sword. It cuts both positively and negatively. So when you are on social media, you got to ask yourself, what am I leaning to? Am I leaning to the positive, or am I leaning to the negative? Because sometimes you get on social media and get inspiration, but sometimes you get there, and if you now sink into comparison, you can get depressed. And so even as parents and teenagers, young children, even older people, you know, there are people who go to work and they spend time on social media and they don't get to their targets, they end up losing their jobs. So how constructively are you using social media? Are you using the side of the sword that cuts you positively, or the side that destroys you? That's a choice we really have to make.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much for telling that to our viewers. Maybe you can tell them where they can find you, because I know you really helped a lot of people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Grace, I opened an office in Nakuru. I've just been sharing social media. So if you are a resident of Nakuru, or if you come to Nakuru, you can get me now physically at my office at D&D House, West Road, and on 6th floor. I'm still on social media, on TikTok, Wellness with Abby, on Facebook, Abby's Holistic Wellness Hub, or Blessed Abby, on Instagram, Coach Blessed Abby. And somebody told me never to forget to say your number. My number is 0781 248 284. So on all those, and on YouTube, Coach Blessed Abby.
Wow, thank you so much. Our viewers, please look for her. She will really help you to be well and also hack your mind. Thank you so much, Coach. We really appreciate your presence all the time here. Our viewers, thank you so much for being part of Family Thursday. I hope you have really understood something concerning social media. Please, also, even if you're not maybe a family person, just put your phone down and also have some time and relax and just think about yourself, analyze yourself, look at nature and all that. Because if you don't regulate social media, it will really pressure you and make your mental health not do well. Thank you so much for always being part of our programs, and also we welcome you. Remember, the Ladies of Nobility, that is next week on 17th. We are welcoming all ladies of all ages. Come, let us pray, let us intercede, let us be equipped to be noble ladies. And shout out to all women. On Sunday, I know it will be Women's Day. Na tutapatana maybe hii wiki tena until next week. Happy Women's or Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. You are incredible women. We all love you. We all treasure all women, even our coach here. Thank you so much for being our women who are nurturing our children. Make sure that you nurture the children and train them in the ways of the Lord, that when they grow up, they will not depart from them. See you next time. Bye-bye.